we are live. All right. I'm so excited. This is a very special episode, and we're going to have some amazing friends, some amazing light workers. I can't wait. Wow, it looks really dark in here. How interesting. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get to the show. I had some technical issues. I didn't have a mic, so if I sound a little different, that's why. But hey, we are live. We made it within the time frame to go. So that's always a production thumbs up. So, hey, we overcame one hurdle, if not two tonight already, before we even went live. So let's bring out the wonderful stars of the show, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. They are amazing leaders in our community, LinkedIn community, Twitch community. They're all over the place. And if you don't know them, where have you been? They're such big, amazing souls. So let's bring them out. I have my amazing friend Annie and my amazing friend Mike.
Hello, hello. Hi.
We made it.
We made it. Today was like a very hurdly kind of day. I have to say there were a lot of hurdles today. It was one of those days, so don't feel like you're alone.
And here we go, another hurdle.
Oh, God. You have to go to camera mic at the bottom and then
switch it. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I've had that happen. Usama, what's up? What's good?
It's something. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
we're good.
Okay. We're working all the camera angles.
Lots of angles. A lot of hurdles today.
Lots of hurdles, but we're live. We made it. So with good reason. Here we go. Oh, goodness. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's already like trickling in. Thank you.
So happy to see you.
Adam, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So patient. Darren, thank you. Thank you for coming and showing up. I appreciate it. Oh, Melly, hi. A new Twitch streamer. Hi.
Ooh,
thank you.
I love it.
Woo. What's up, girl? All right. This is so nice. I'm going to give a shout out to Nick. Thank you for being here. And Usama. What's good? All right. Well, people are starting to come in. That little delay may have worked in our favor. But welcome. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys, both of y'all, get started. And I'm going to go ahead and just listen because I'm so happy to be able to host this special episode.
So thank you. Thank you for having us, DJ. And I loved the promo and everything. It was amazing. I don't know how to really start because I caught a little off guard, but I'm not going to ask Mike to start because I always make him start. So I am a mom first and foremost and an entrepreneur. I have my own company, Leib LLC, which I am the founder and CEO of. I have an amazing, incredible co-everything, but business partner in Michael Padurano. And we have come up with all of this different fun stuff and we are putting it into action right now. It's hard to even explain everything, but we created something called the Breath Framework, and we walk our clients through this both one-to-one, and we are launching a Safe Space for Men group and a Safe Space for Women's group as well on June 1st. And the Breath Framework is B for begin, R for reclaim your power, E for excavate your core values, A for allow, T for through, and H for heal. And those are the steps in the framework that we take our clients through. And it happens to be a really special word to me, breath, because I have it tattooed on my hip. And I got that tattoo in my lowest, darkest days when I felt like I was stripped of everything, but you couldn't take my breath from me. That was mine. That was like all I had left. That's what I felt.
Wow.
I got that tattooed on me in 2015 when I signed my divorce papers. Like I left the place and I went to the tattoo place. And
Sound like me.
When Mike and I were talking about creating something big. First, well, let me backtrack. First, we created Living with Anitude, which was all about stepping into your authentic self and being true to you. And it was fun, interviewed a ton of people, had a great time doing it. But lately, sort of evolved into our truth and our soul center, like our realest, most genuine place where we can align with our core values and show up as who we really, really are. And this is the tattoo that I got that is not on my hip and hidden. This is the tattoo that says truth in Hebrew. And it's just a really important word to me. It's actually Mike's overarching core values. So there's a lot of synergy there. And we're just doing a ton to bring this wholeness that we've both found and this peace and joy that we've both found in the last few months, we're bringing it to the community and the public so that we can share that, because both of us sort of feel, how can we have gone on this journey with all of these struggles and all of this pain and not, and having gotten to oneness and wholeness and joy and peace and not share it with others. So that is basically what we're doing. And Mike can tell you the fill in the gaps.
First, before wait, I'm going to put a little piece of, let's say hi, because we have a couple new people here. So I'm going to say hi to Junette. Junette's here. Hi, June. And Usama's here.
Yes.
So, and Maria, what's up, girl? So I'm going to say hello
awesome.
to them, because I know there's so, I'm going to keep going, but I don't want to interrupt. Mike?
All right. So, I mean, where do you want me to start, Annie?
Just, you can tell a little bit of your story and how like it happened and how we met and how we sort of made this thing happen. And now it's turning into something huge.
Yeah. So last February, I got evidence of my children being abused. I decided to get in the car and drive 1,300 miles to Arkansas to save them, while waiting to get my kids for 10 to 11 days in Arkansas within an hour of them after being 1,200 miles away. Each day that I waited for the court system to get involved and do their job to protect my children, I got lower and lower and lower. By the time it was March 3rd, I posted a video on LinkedIn because I was periodically doing it during this journey. Lots of videos I didn't post, but this one I did post, and I was in a very, very low space. Annie reached out to connect to me, didn't really say much, and saw on March 5th of 2020, she reached out to me and told me everything was going to be okay. What she didn't realize is on March 5th was probably one of the lowest moments of my life, and I wanted it all to end. I was at such a pain point and in such a painful place that I didn't think I could go on anymore. And not that I was going to end my life, but I was just so miserable. I didn't know what to do anymore. I was alone. I was 1,200 miles from home. I had plenty of people reaching out to me to try and support me, and none of them got through because I was just in such a place. For some reason, this stranger out of Philadelphia, this cute little blonde that now we have learned has more energy than any of us knowingly had any clue, decided to send this message to me, and it got through, and it gave me a glimmer of hope. March 6th, I got my kids the next day. I went into a massive depression, lasted about 2 months, about 2 months. Got meds adjusted, my thyroid back in line, and by the time George Floyd was murdered, I was starting to get back to myself again, and reached out to Gabe, said we need to create the round tables for anti-racism, and we need to do something and give people a platform to share their voice and bring diversified groups to the table to hear all perspectives in an honest, open, transparent conversation. Not even sure I knew what I was doing then. I always had ideas and I always had plans, and they were always good. I just don't think I really understood what impact that would have on me personally. And Gabe said, well, why don't we put Annie on it? And I said, that would be amazing. So she was on it, and from that point forward, we were pretty much inseparable, like daily communication, nonstop, created this deep, deep, deep bond that I've never felt before in my life. Became the closest person to me in my life. And we started this journey. By the middle of June, she said, you might want to look at Brene Brown, because there were some not nice words in there, but how I received it was, you're really friggin' broken. You might want to start fixing yourself. 41 years of being numb, here's Brene Brown. She might help. And if she doesn't, then, we'll find a different book. And I started this addiction to healing.
Is that book that you...
That's the book that I sent you, yes.
I have it
There
here
are
somewhere.
several Brene Brown books, but
I know.
Yes.
I wanted him to just
This
start with one.
Yep, that's the one.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, really.
Hey, we got that book.
I made sure DJ had it.
Yes. Good to know. Life changer.
Yes, it is. And at that point, I started getting addicted to healing. And we went on this journey parallel together, back and forth. And we started really working on our own healing journeys and became accountable to each other and became accountability partners. And basically, by the time the end of 2020 came around is when I identified my core values, which Annie has her own core value story, which you can share. But then January, I stepped into them, which included risking losing the most important people in my life at that point, because it meant becoming accountable for all my actions. Because again, like Annie said, truth is my overarching core value, and I live in my truth every single day. And for me, that means being accountable even for the things that nobody realizes happen. And that's what I started doing. And it meant really stepping into myself and being willing to lose everything and everyone in my life. And that's what I did. At that point, I started living on this, I call it a spiritual high. It was just this euphoric feeling of being so grounded, so centered, so comfortable within my own skin, something I've never felt before. Now, normal people might feel this all the time. I couldn't tell you because I'm not normal. But, maybe that's what
What's normal?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what your average person feels like. I don't know. But it's not what I felt like ever in my 41 years to that point. And as this time has gone by and Annie stepped into her core values and she went through that same change, we've gotten closer and we've bonded deeper, and we started looking at this journey that we took, and we started thinking about an acronym to label what we did. And we went for breath because of how powerful a word it is to her in her life. And probably because MS was too short and wouldn't cover everything. But there's this enormous tie there, and it means so much. And if you really listen to how she breaks it down, where you can take everything from you but your last breath, that makes sense on every level. Anyone who's ever been at rock bottom for any reason knows that feeling. You just know that feeling. And that's why we went with breath. And, we've co-created this platform, this framework. We've co-created the groups that we're building around it, which are exclusive invite-only groups, a men's safe space and a women's safe space. We have redeveloped her live show into the Soul Center live experience, which launches on the 1st. The groups launch on the 1st. The one-on-one coaching's already been in play, so now we're just taking it to the next level. And as we've made these steps, what we realize is it can help anyone anywhere, no matter where they're at. And it becomes a way of living for them. Because we go through these steps every day, backwards and forwards, and all over the place. And a new one? Yes, it's a new one and it's working, so please don't shut the Wi-Fi. Please. Okay, it's not the time for that. Now is not the time to reset the Wi-Fi. I promise you it's not.
What other technical issues could we have tonight? I mean,
hi, Jude.
Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Attitude.
Attitude.
I love bud. So, Mike and I have really stepped into this place that we call the Soul Center. And we thought that creating this, as we've evolved in our journeys, into something that we call the Soul Center experience was the next logical step. So that's what puts us before you. Everything launches in June, really, except for the one-to-one stuff. That's really been going on for quite some time now and is snowballing into something huge.
Yeah, and that's on your website. People can find your website. I know it's on there, all your services, your Calendly, they can connect with you.
Yes, thank you. And I mean, we're growing pretty rapidly. So we have, I guess, some news that'll be coming out next week. I don't think we want to bring that up now, but there will be a surprise next week besides our groups and besides what we've been doing. So there's something else to launch that everybody doesn't know. Only Mike and I know. It's been really fun. It's been really fun because it's truly mirrors our journey. It's something that I get to heal with. I get to heal while I'm healing others. So it's the most fulfilling place I've ever been, in this place of wholeness. I don't really know how to describe it other than to say every day I'm psyched to face the day. Like when I post my stuff, when people see my stuff, my content, like I don't plan content. I just do what I feel. And when it's 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. or 5 a.m.
Yeah, that seems super like original right there. Caught in the moment.
It's my moment. And it's like, I'm psyched to do life. Like I kid you not, I was never like this. I was never like this. Never. I mean, you could ask my ex-husband. He would be like, who's that girl that gets up early? But I just love life and what's happening in it and everything that we're doing and creating. And it's just exactly where I've always wanted to be, living life fulfilled and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, my mission and purpose. So that's basically it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that's not all basically it. I mean, there's just so many components to it.
Yeah.
So, and it's such a intense I'm not intense, but just like really like deep program.
Not for the faint of heart, as we say. It's not for somebody that's like half dipping a toe in. If you want to go on a soul journey and discover the depths of your soul, then this is the journey to go on. If you want to like dabble and tell somebody how your week was, I'm not
confront a lot of like confronting and really just owning and just opening to allowing one of those words over here that one that I have to constantly like work on. Maybe the one
we all are. Allowing is really, I don't know we've been talking about this all week because of the world tour. I don't know what the hardest part is, but I think allowing is the one that keeps coming back the most. But there are different ways that you always start where you are. There are different ways every day and all the time to reclaim your power. There are ways that we give away power each day that we don't even realize, and just in our languaging and things that we say and little things that we do, and then big things that we do to give away our power. And excavating your core values is something that you can do more than once for sure. But once you do that and you solidify what they are, you can live into them. And that's the journey with that. And then to really allow it's short for allow, not control. And it is tough. It is tough to allow, like to really relinquish that control and say, this is going to be what it's going to be. And I can't control anything but what I do right now. Can't control any of it, but how I act. And if you think about the ways you control in life and the things that you try to like, I look at it as like a Tetris board. I used to just like, if I put this here and this here and this here and it fits here and then everything, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
How I want it, how I need it. And it'll be, and I set it up and I was planning and it was like, whoa. You just can't do that in life. You're not being present at all. So becoming present is huge with allowing. And then going through is really a big deal because a lot of people, most people, fall back into going around. They try to go around instead of going. They try to deal with things, but not deal with them, or kind of deal with things, or dabble in dealing.
Oh, right, yeah. You know? Oh, yeah. That's so
going
true.
Through and sitting in it.
Well, I mean, I kind of, but then I got distracted.
Right. I was
gonna talk about it, but
I was gonna get rid of that toxic person. I really was, but it's just not the time. It's like, okay. So, I mean, going through is really just taking the reins and sitting in what's going on and feeling. And a lot of people go, and they don't be ever. They don't just be. And, that's the part that is another difficult part. All of these steps can be painful and hard, but the gift on the other side is what we're both talking about, that wholeness and that fullness and that oneness and that peace is like the light, and I've seen the darkness. I've seen the darkness. So like I
think the darkness is easy to relate to, but shameful to talk about.
For some, yeah.
Right. It's hard. And we don't want to talk about it. They don't want to admit it.
They don't want to face it.
They don't want to allow it. They don't want to even I say confront. I don't know why I'm drawn to that word in this framework, why I want to keep saying confront, because I believe that there has to be some sort of,
you're actually confronting yourself a lot in this framework.
Of course, right. I mean, obviously it's not anybody else through this work. I just got to say hi to Jacob. What's up, Jacob? Jacob's hi.
Hi, Jacob.
And Jay Kumar, hello, welcome. Hi. So,
Together.
but yeah, it's just, that the confronting is what I call it, but I don't know where that falls in. And for me, that is maybe it's excavating, but is
Well,
it past that?
when you start where you are, when you begin at B, where you
Wherever
are,
that be is, wherever that be,
wherever that B is, we meet you there, and you have
right?
to meet yourself there too.
Of course. But don't
When
come
you,
to the program if you're not ready.
right. When you begin to reclaim your power and find out where it is your self-worth meter is, your barometer of self-worth and your self-love, and start to reclaim where you've given away your power for so long in places you didn't even realize you were giving it away.
This was a good one. We were in that clubhouse room. This was a good. I wanted to share. I couldn't share, but I wanted to. Mm-hmm. But that was a really good conversation, and some of the conversations we were sharing were really relatable. Like I could be like, oh yeah, me too, me. Like you just feel a sense of, I don't know how to say it.
Community.
Yeah, but it's another word, like a little nicer word.
Nicer word than community?
No, like a nicer word, but it was really bonding and it was just really interesting to talk. Yeah, camaraderie in a sense, and I know it's close knit. It's safe. It was very safe. We could feel safe, and that was for me so nice and so welcoming. And I really do need smaller spaces like that in order for me to open up. Mm-hmm. I mean, a party's a party, and a party's for something totally different. Like if I'm going to a party, I'm going for different reasons, right? I'm not going, but when you're going, right. But in this situation like that, those small intimate settings, and you really get to understand each other and share how really it does touch each of us in a very similar way. It really just humanizes a lot, I think, all the experiences, and it really brings us closer together. So it's been interesting, the conversations that really come from the allowing.
Mm-hmm. Sure, Mike.
Yeah, I was just in the midst of allowing my 3-year-old to run the house. Well, I'm not going to be able to say 3-year-old much longer, am I?
So why don't you talk about it while she's not there?
Talk about which part?
Whatever part you want, but get your piece in before she comes back.
So the way that we're
advantage of your time.
The way that we're working in this is we have the private groups that are member only, that are exclusive, that are invite only. That is the private safe space groups. We're going to limit it to 10 or 12 people at a time, men or women, 2 separate groups, men and women, and we'll go from there to keep it very private, intimate settings, small safe space containers, so everybody can start getting the most out of it that they possibly can. At the same time, we have the Soul Center Experience live show, which starts Tuesday at Annie's normal time. Well, no, 7:30 p.m. actually. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, a half hour earlier, because these are going to be deeper conversations, and there are specific guests representing each letter of breath, and it's going to go in order. We're going to go through the letters 5 times between June 1st and November 2nd. During 7 weeks of the summer, there's going to be 2 nights a week, which is going to be Tuesday and Thursday. And we are going to share different stories about each letter. Then we're going to do random pop-ups with Annie and I. No, me and Annie. And whatever. But with the two of us. With the two of us. Not much for overthinking here today. With the 2 of us and a guest, talking about their experience with either the framework, a letter, or their specific part of the journey. Then we have the Clubhouse Rooms, which is every Wednesday morning, and that is your gratitude alarm.
Gratitude.
I'm grateful for DJ.
Great.
And everything that we're doing on this world tour. Sorry.
Fantastic.
Everybody has to say and when it goes off, everybody has to say what they're grateful for.
Let's do it.
Sorry, Mike, to interrupt you, but this is important.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, DJ. What are you grateful for right now?
I mean, instinctively, I want to say for both of y'all being in my life and being able to present this opportunity to share the space and create this for others, right? Like really just, I don't know, be part of this. That's what I want to say. But I mean, it goes deeper, of course. That's just like the quick 30-second appreciation moment and gratitude for both of y'all.
I'm grateful for Annie for finding me when she did, because I'd never be where I am today without it. I would have eventually found my way. I would have eventually gotten on my path, but I would have never have done what I've done today and gotten to the point that I am today without her in my life. And to me, it's in turn saved my children too. So.
Well, thank you for both saying what you're grateful for. If anybody wants to write in and say what they're grateful for, please feel free. But Mike, I interrupted you, so go ahead. Sorry.
You didn't say what you were grateful for.
I did. I was first.
Oh, what did you say?
I said I was grateful for, oh wait, hold on. Adam said I'm grateful for having met DJ. She's incredibly supportive and very beautiful soul. I agree, Adam. I agree. Me too. I said DJ actually, but I really feel incredibly grateful for this space and to do this. And I can't do it. I don't want to do it without you, Mike. So no leaving. So you're obviously a big part of that, but this, like you said, container is a great word in this space, and the people embracing us and following and joining into this movement is something that I'm incredibly grateful for, because it's just an amazing experience.
Well, here's the good news. I don't remember what I was talking about, so we can feel free to go wherever we want now.
What are you thinking, DJ? I'm gonna let you run it.
Well, I was just going to correct myself, because I know I was talking about allow, but it was really reclaim. We were having the chat about reclaiming.
Yes,
reclaiming is a tough one. That one is a tough one. And because the things that you don't realize until someone shares it, that was what I was trying to say. Until someone shares, and you're just like,
wait, that's the part of the community piece that's so important, because sharing and hearing others share in an intimate setting like that is why we created the groups.
Right. And in a one-on-one, you wouldn't have that same dynamic to kind of everyone just kind of be like, oh, yeah, sharing in that moment, or when you're hearing it from someone in like a guiding kind of way or mentoring kind of way. But it's sometimes better well received in a peer sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand that. I certainly didn't know all the ways that I gave away my power. And sometimes I still do. Everybody does. And going through that is so important. And part of this is it's not changing who you are at all. It's discovering who you are and then aligning with who you are. And that's how you become whole. And that's how you feel fulfilled without these external validation all the time.
Right. Which is something that's so easy for anyone to fall into the trap of seeking. Like instant gratification is just one of those, or like a shopping, a conversation. It just could be anything, right? Just doing what you'd rather do than what you're supposed to be doing. In a sense of like you're supposed
I've done them all: drugs, sex, porn. Yeah, whatever it took to fill the void. I mean,
to make you feel better, to numb you at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it was always about filling that void. It was always just about never having to do work and just get those short-term instant gratifications to kind of, get through that moment. But they were all short-lived, and they never had any longevity behind it at all.
And it just leaves you empty.
Yeah,
but that's like the 3D carnal stuff. That's not, again, that's surface level. That doesn't even go into the heart. And to go soul-centered, you got to go past the heart. Y'all taught me that.
Yeah.
So
it's a deep dive.
It's a deep drive. So if we're just talking about the heart-centered, and you're not even at the heart, it's really difficult to get to the soul level. Yeah. So if you're still at that carnal, physical, superficial level, you got a lot of work.
This is a whole new world, but it's truly incredible. It doesn't mean it's easy. It's not an easy journey, but it's seeing the light and feeling the fulfillment. Like I've been walking through life, like today I had kind of an off day, but pretty much bulletproof. Like just feeling like no matter what comes at me, like it's okay. and it doesn't change my worth. It doesn't change
That's
my own
rare.
self-love. Yeah, it's
That
really, I've never
sounds
had it
rare.
in my life. I've never had it.
I don't
So,
hear a lot of people saying that on lives. Let's just put it that
well,
way.
there's a first for everything. Here's
how
Amy.
many times can you really quote somebody saying stuff like that?
I mean, it's the work, honest to God. Like
I don't feel bulletproof. I feel like, and I'm like,
well, I mean,
right. But you want to get to that place where you're really like reclaiming, I think, for me. And I think some part of the framework that we need to touch on is that it's not in a particular order. You could be anywhere. So I can be allowing and I can be reclaiming and I can be bouncing between two.
They're all integrated. So they all overlap in ways. You know, Mike and I have this big, long outline of what each letter really, truly means. And basically our internal framework of how we take clients through it and how we've gone through it in our journeys. And they each, there's not one of them that doesn't overlap with another one. And they're all part and parcel of one another.
Yeah, so, you can't have a conversation about one without really starting to overlap into another one of those.
Right. And all of them are difficult and all of them are beautiful. But all of them, you know, us having gone through this ridiculously challenging journey, an arduous journey, the two of us separately having gone through this, and then our parallel journeys, it's when you're talking to us, it's rare that there's been like someone that has said an experience where I'm like, I have no idea what you mean. Like, I kind of get it. And I feel Mike is the same way. We're empaths and we see people for their soul. So I can kind of like, it's very intuition based too, what we do.
Absolutely.
That comes from a different place in me. I could have never done this, what I'm doing in my life 2 years ago, even a year ago. Not this way.
Not this way. I think that's because you've always been an empath. I think that's just something that, right, we're a gift that we're given. But you don't know what to do with it. Like, I mean, I quote unquote used my gift in the way that I could figure out how to in order to be able to share that I wanted to give, that I wanted to share that energy that I had with others. So, I mean, I just think that it's a lot of work and, well, you know, just got to keep shining that light for everyone.
That's what we're here to do.
It is. It's so hard to do, and you want to do it for others, right? That's what, for me, it's a motivator, is like wanting to give for others, but being true to yourself is so hard. You can easily get distracted. You have to turn the mirror around. Oh, that mirror.
Yeah, that lens, turning that mirror around is hard. But having gone through so much, you know, it's like, I couldn't sit here and be true to my integrity and my personal freedom of who I really am. Those are some of my core values, and lean into them without sharing this with people. Like, I'm here on a mission to help people find fulfillment and peace. Like, that's my mission in life. So when I wasn't leaning into them, I couldn't be, that's what I meant by I wouldn't be able to do this at any other time in my life, because I wasn't fully soul-centered. I wasn't fully leaning into the core values. I didn't reclaim my power. I didn't know how to allow. I didn't know how to do this breath framework, which, you know, that's partly what makes it so amazing, because we didn't just get it out of a book. Like, we did it. We do it. So that's part of the light in all of it.
I mean, it's a daily journey. I mean, you know, there's not a single day that goes by that one of us, if not both of us, is looking at this breath framework and saying, well, I'm pretty sure I did all 6 today. Like, I
did that. I'm done.
Yeah. Like, this is not, I'm done. This is a way of life. I mean, this is, you know, if you do the work and you understand the steps and you understand the way that to do this, this is how you keep yourself in this space. Not only get there, but stay there. And it becomes second nature, right? When you hit such a level of self-awareness that you're understanding what you'll lose the minute you walk away from any one of your core values, you don't want to give that up. It's not worth it. The instant gratification dies. Like, it's just not worth it. The chase, the hunt, I'm going to go,
The external
anything.
validation, right?
Yeah. One of the nicest things anybody's ever done for me is what Annie posted yesterday for my birthday, right? Like, it's the nicest thing, I think, that anybody's ever done for me in my life. Okay.
Your
And it was
birthday
by
was
far,
yesterday?
yeah, it was by
What?
far, go find the post. It was by far one of the sweetest things anyone's ever done for me. Okay. And,
Aww.
and like,
I need to
it
put a
meant so
party
much
hat on.
because it meant so much, one, because it was Annie who did it for me, right? And our bond and everything that we have together. But as much as I've never had a good birthday in my life, which I never have, I've never really appreciated my birthdays at all. So that was by far, one, my kids are here. My kids are with me. My kids are safe. Two, we're all healing. So we're in a different place than we've ever been. And three, it was just probably the most memorable thing that anyone's ever done. I've never felt like that. And, looking at it, it's not the words that make the impact on me, although there were amazing messages that were beautifully heartfelt written and from their soul, and like truly just so appreciative and just unbelievable. But it wasn't about the words, it was the whole point of it. Anybody who left a comment, whether it was long or small, I truly appreciate. But I also know my value today, my worth today, and I appreciate myself today. So it's not even that I don't like the positive reinforcement. It's just, it doesn't make a dent against my own positive internal reinforcement.
I have a little spin on that. I have a little spin, a little
Let's
tiny
have a little
one.
spin.
I think that you
Uh-oh, here
know,
comes Twitchy Kenny. Sorry.
I think that you knowing
Yeah. Teresa's here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut
It's
you
okay.
off. Teresa's here. And yes, Katie J is,
Hi, Katie J.
as Usama would say, in the building, in the
In the
virtual building.
building.
I'm not
I
going to
knew that-
scream it.
I think that you knowing your worth today allows you to accept those messages
Yes.
differently than you ever have. And that's part of what brought you the enjoyment, because the light was shined on you and you know your worth and you know who you are today. And so you're able to take it all in and take in the acknowledgement and the love and accept it as yours. Not put yourself down, kick the shit out of yourself, hate your birthday, hate the day. And so, yeah, I made a post, and that was, I did it because how I feel about you, and I wanted you to be recognized on your birthday. But what I really wanted was what happened, which was the spotlight on you, because I knew you would never do that for yourself. And I knew that you hated your birthday always. So I just was hoping that you wouldn't hate it anymore. So yay.
Yay.
Well, you got your point across, and it was successful beyond belief, and it really was my best birthday I've ever had, as far back as I can remember.
And think about that. Think about that, the wholeness he must feel being in Arkansas with no one around except for his children, no one,
Right,
and stranded there basically. Yet it was the best birthday he ever had because of how he feels about himself, his fulfilled way that he is right now. So that's pretty awesome.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, and so I want to explain something real quick too. Like, I mean, I know I've done this probably 14 times in the past 2 weeks, but I want to go into mind-centered, heart-centered, soul-centered for anyone who missed this. So this is how I break it down for anybody who is interested. Mind-centered is when you're in ego, you're in self-preservation mode, you're really just existing and rolling with that. Okay. Heart-centered is when you move into empathy and love and feeling emotions and allowing your emotions, and you can relate and sympathize and empathize with people within that range. Soul-centered is when you are living your truest form of self within your core values daily, and you are living your definitive purpose every day of inspiring, lifting, helping others in whatever your purpose is. And to me, that is the difference between the three. There are many people in this world that are heart-centered, and it is a great place to be. It is a great place to live in and love and be there for others and empathize. But when you were my kind of broken, it wasn't deep enough because I had to go deeper to really find my truest self.
Find you.
Find me. Like, I couldn't even hide in the emotional state. I couldn't even hide in the heart-centeredness because the minute that I went to that, I wanted more already. And I knew that I had a bigger purpose, a more defined purpose that I wanted to live into daily. And this isn't about ego. This isn't about recognition. This isn't about being rich. This isn't about any of those things. This is truly about inspiring others to be self-inspired, which is the gift that Annie gave me. That is the gift that she gave me. She inspired me to be self-inspired. I had this enormous eternal flame within me that was missing its spark, and then Annie came along as the spark and
Catalyst.
lit it up only as she could, and that's how it feels.
I think you did touch on something I wanted, and that goes back to the heart-centered, soul-centered. And I have lived so heart-centered most of my life, and that's where I was at, and I didn't realize, right, that it could go deeper to a soul-centered level. So that's something definitely that I realized because I was already living heart-centered and practicing the empathy and giving to others and really just being available in that way to shine a light. But I didn't realize that there was more work to be done.
And TJ, there's always work to be done.
There's always, right.
We are all works in progress, and we're constantly evolving. And sometimes I'll have a day that I'm in heart center. Some days I shift back into heart center. But it's just that once you feel that light and that wholeness and fullness and peace, you want to keep getting back there. You want to keep getting back there. And sometimes you slip back, but that's okay. You have to forgive yourself. You have to allow sometimes and relinquish control and then roll back into your soul center because it's KDJ said, I'm perfect, baby. Love it. So it's been a ride and it's just beginning, it's just really just beginning.
No work needed.
Stop.
Not
at all. None.
Annie don't believe that.
He doesn't need anything. He's perfect.
Oh.
And the truth is, DJ, we bring up an important point, which is everybody is perfect exactly who they are. But a lot of people don't know who they really are. They don't know who they really are. So they are perfect just the way they are. But it's the idea of finding the person in there of who they really are that can bring them closer to that perfection of who they are.
KDJ, do you know who you really are? Because you are perfect.
You are. Just the way you are.
Yeah. We're all perfect. I love that. It's hard to say. It's even hard, like the positive affirmations and I love it myself and really, really believing that. It can be very difficult. And it's like, what is that part of?
That's heart-centered.
But I meant in the steps, even like working through that mental stuff. I think that would be reclaiming power. Going back to that.
It's part of all of them.
Excavating, getting in there,
figuring out,
digging and figuring it out.
Who that person you're supposed to love even is. I'm supposed to be worthy, but I don't know who that person really is. So figuring that out, that's excavation and reclaiming your power.
A lot of people, it's hard. It's hard to turn back and look and acknowledge that little person. Talk to that little person. Reach out to that little person.
That little person.
Forgive.
Forgiveness is a tough one. But then when you can forgive, that is part of reclaiming your power. I mean, you take your power back when you forgive. When you truly forgive and you don't have resentments, you take your power back.
Resentment, that's a good word.
So my favorite quote in the entire world is, if you want to be a slave, harbor your resentments. And it's so true, because if you harbor your resentments and you hold on to them, who are you hurting? It's only you. You're the slave to it.
So true. I don't know I think I may have heard you say that phrase before, but
Possible.
Ladies
I'm
great.
consistent. It's always my favorite quote.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Say it again. Who is that?
It's anonymous, actually.
Oh, it's an anonymous. Okay.
So me, no. I didn't start it, but if you want to be a slave, harbor your resentments.
Harbor those resentments.
And then you're the one. So giving that, it's really tough, but getting back and forgiving those people that you're mad at and forgiving yourself a lot of the time is reclaiming your power and gives you a lot of power back.
Letting go.
But keep in mind, forgiving doesn't mean that you condone what they did.
No, exactly.
And forgiving also doesn't mean that you allow them back in your life, especially if it's somebody that's been removed for a reason, right? So the amount of strength, the amount of courage, the amount of self-worth and self-belief that it takes to remove toxic people from our lives is beyond anything that somebody can imagine. And then to forgive those people while still keeping them out of your life because you know that you deserve better and that you're worth it and you deserve your own happiness is one of the most powerful ways to reclaim your power that exists, because you are proving to yourself that you are worth it no matter what. And it is extremely painful, extremely tedious. It weighs on you, it wears you down. But as long as you stand true into you, you will stay strong within that. And it is hard. It is very difficult to cut out toxic people.
Oh, yes. Very. Especially if they're in your inner family or if they're related, like.
Yeah.
Right. What is it? Extended family?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be an aunt, uncle, cousin, co-worker. Just there's so many places that those toxic people can be and affect you. And setting those boundaries, that was something that came to me when we were talking about, and it goes into, again, reclaiming. I would put that, setting those boundaries, which is so difficult for so many people.
Boundaries are really, again, you're bringing up all these good points. Boundaries are very woven, interwoven throughout all of these steps. I mean, truly, many people don't have boundaries, or they have boundaries that they think are in place, but they're not, or they don't keep them, or they don't respect themselves or know their worth enough to have them. Like, I was raised without them, so I had to find them and make them myself and put them in place. I didn't know how to have them. So it was a process of finding them and putting them in place, and then being comfortable with that, and then people pushing back on them, and then me, reclaiming my power with that. So.
And for me, I just had very, 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 very loose boundaries, like beyond loose, almost non-existent. But there was lines, but they were very extremely way over. Like they were just so against myself that
you didn't realize your worth.
Yeah, I mean, I had no clue. And boundaries are really tough, right? Because the minute that you implement them, dynamics shift. And when the other side doesn't like to shift, they push back. And you really don't know how to handle it at first, because you're just implementing and trying to do what's best for you. And then the ones that are pushing back, they internalize it and take it personally. And I think it's human nature. I don't think it's meant to be that way. I don't think but it all coincides with every other piece of this, because all these little steps help build our self-worth. Little by little, reclaiming our power, little by little, going through, not around, allowing without controlling. That's a huge one. I mean, I still control so many little things. It drives me nuts. I still try to control the amount of pain that I allow myself to go through. And that's the big one, because like, I control myself, which then reflects outwards in ways, and it's never intentional, but it comes across in that way. And it's unfortunate, but control is so sneaky, right? And excavating your core values, like excavating your core values is tough, because you need to understand yourself at such a deep level of what really matters to you. And I think we talked about this yesterday on
one of the shows. We're not sure.
Yeah. I mean,
on show number 14.
Yeah. Yesterday was a long day. But we compromise core values because they were imposed on us, right? And we don't even know what our core values are. And it's hard to differentiate between values that we were raised within, how they were misconstrued, versus what we really believe in our core. And it's it really takes so much self-awareness. And I feel like that's where we can help and play a role, is in that self-awareness. That's where we can play a role in that, right? Is helping others to be accountable in their self-awareness and show them tricks to be more self-aware. And this crazy phrase that we developed, just hyper acutely self-aware. I'm over analytical in every way possible, and rather than being negative, we reframe it into a positive so that it keeps me within my core values on a daily basis, which is hyper acutely self-aware. I got sick of everything I do and being negative. So I took the thing that's always worked against me the worst and made it positive.
Well, you reclaimed your power with your languaging.
I what?
You reclaimed your power with your languaging.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. And I'm still working on it. I mean, we still have, there's still things that you catch me on, and there's still, little slips here and there. But overall, I mean, it's completely different than it even was even 3 months ago, even 2 months ago. Like, it's just shifting so much daily. And it doesn't mean every day is, sunshine and rainbows and unicorns and butterflies. And it just means that we know how to handle it better. No matter what comes our way, we handle it better.
Yep.
And it gets a little easier each day.
So that's the soul center and the soul center experience and the breath framework. And that's what we're doing.
It's powerful. I know it is. It's not easy for the faint of heart. So we keep going, and every day. Yeah. Everything you said. I mean, I had so many things I wanted to interject with, but it's important to just listen and really allow. Well,
I appreciate you having us on to hear about all this, and about so much of it. So appreciate you having us talk to your audience and get our information out there.
Sure, absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you. I'm grateful for you and everything that we've been. Oh, okay. I thought that was me. I thought there goes my mic again.
No, it's the Sid.
Okay. No, that's okay. But yeah, just keep, just consistently working through those, and it brings a lot of strength and power, to yourself. If you do the work, you're gonna get it in return.
Exactly.
But you gotta want to do the work.
I'm telling you, you gotta do it.
Yeah. So how are we doing? Should we?
We're good. We should. I have to go walk the dog because he's had to go to the bathroom for an hour. So I have to go.
Oh, okay. Well, then
he's
let's go ahead.
nudging me with his nose.
All right. So any last questions? I know that everyone will just say goodbye to our couple last viewers. Thank you, Katie J. Adam, thank you, Adam.
So happy to see you guys.
Right, we had a couple other people pop through. I was trying to throw some new commands with the eye lurks and the eye quotes.
I don't know what that means, but
I know.
Awesome.
It's all whatever. It's just some techie stuff. But anyways, I appreciate. Thank you so much. We will let you go.
Thanks
I'm gonna go ahead and I guess we'll hit our little closeout, whatever video.
Okay.
Peace. Say goodbye. Bye.